Around here. Well, I'm sorry, my bad. But Fiorella, I wanted to give you this topic to start off with. I need you to listen. We're just going to play the first part of this over here. The mainstream media. You kind of touched on it because, Graham, we have a responsibility. You know, and once again, you know, the shootings happen. We get away from Epstein. Something happens with Trump. He spilled mustard on his tie. We get away from the Epstein case. Whatever they may be, they're going to be distractions or concentrating on other stories rather than going on this one. And also the way they handle it. I can't stand the mainstream media, people like Chris Cuomo, who just don't want you looking into stuff and they want you believing their narrative.
Why are you so hard on the oligarchs?
Because the oligarchs wouldn't monetize my station and cost us about 10 G's right now. By the way, Johnny, play the first part. Let Fiorella hear this, and I want to hear her opinions and your opinions about the mainstream media and how they're handling this and how people really should handle this.
Yeah.
President Trump has reacted to Epstein's death in what is sadly a very unsurprising way. He is spreading a conspiracy theory that the Clintons had Epstein killed. Let that sink in. This would be like Gerald Ford or Jimmy Carter or Ronald Reagan claiming that LBJ had Kennedy killed. Nonetheless, because this is Donald Trump, this is what we've come to expect. Because this isn't the first, no, it's not the second or even the third time the president has made baseless claims without regard for the consequences of his rhetoric. He's also suggested Senator Ted Cruz's dad was involved in JFK's assassination, that Justice Antonin Scalia was murdered because a pillow was found over his face, that Joe Scarborough may have been involved in his intern's death, that there was something fishy about the suicide of Vince Foster, a former Clinton aide. Don't forget, he started the birther movement. He went so far as to offer President Obama $5 million for his college records and passport. Trump raised questions about Senator Marco Rubio's eligibility to be president because his parents were not born in the U.S. Trump conveniently ignored the fact that his own mother wasn't born in the U.S. Trump also raised similar eligibility questions about Senator Ted Cruz because he was born in Canada. President Trump went on to claim that President Obama wiretapped Trump Tower. His own Justice Department publicly said this did not.
I think that's enough. But, I mean, you can see what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all about Trump, and they kind of make this comparison that if you think the same way, then you're a nut job crazy person too.
Right.
I mean, you don't believe that tell me that you guys don't believe it's possible that the Clintons had Epstein whacked.
I mean,
Well, of course it's possible.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's very dangerous what they're doing here because they are equating any sort of questioning of the status quo narrative and of what they are telling you to believe to being Donald Trump. And they did this with Bernie Sanders this morning, too. And I'm going to talk about that another time. But this is what they do. They're equating anything you say against the established narrative as a conspiracy theory, which is a typical CIA type of move. Right. And so now even if you're saying, wait a minute now, I don't buy this and I'm not a Trump supporter, they're going to be like, no, see, like, how dare you believe Donald Trump? How dare you follow this narrative? Donald Trump lied. Of course, Donald Trump lies many times. The problem with this and the problem that the Democrats have is that the right will catch the Democrats in a lie and they'll point it out and then they'll fill it up with something that's complete bullshit. But like, people need to be able to differentiate between what is Donald Trump lying and what is actually literally the fact that, yes, Clinton is likely implicated based on facts. And we can't let our emotions get in the way of, or our Trump deranged syndrome get in the way of saying, oh yeah, no, this is all Trump, when just the evidence just isn't there to say that, you know.
I think, you bring up a great point. I think what watching that clip shows to me, like, this is everything that's wrong with the corporate media and the two-party system, right? So Fox News, all they're pushing is Clinton, Seth Rich. That's all they're pushing, which there's some validity to that. They will not go after Trump. They won't point out any of his bullshit at all. And CNN and MSNBC defend the Clintons, and all they do is go after Trump. So it brings up the whole thing. So we're not getting any sort of fair thing. And I think it's like, okay, yeah, Trump has said a lot of crazy conspiracy bullshit. I mean, look, man, he blew up the Republican primary.
Yeah.
He blew it up. But they never, and Fee, you bring this to such a great point, they never will ask. They're not saying, look, Trump has said a lot of crazy things. And he's brought up these and these and these conspiracies. And also, why has Bill Clinton said he only went on 4 flights when there's 26.
Yeah, they
why
won't
did
ever
they?
bring that
Why
up.
aren't they talking about these financial connections, Pasta?
Yep.
Here we are in a goddamn basement, and we can find this shit out, but CNN can't.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? You're in
Yeah.
a basement. I'm in my little 1-bedroom apartment. How come we can do better investigative journalism than they can? And it points to the whole thing because it's like the 3 years of talking about Russia. I've made that same point. I'm like, if you were going to investigate Russia, then investigate the DNC cheating in their primary.
Absolutely.
Talk about all of it. How come 3 years we haven't been talking about the Podesta emails? Those just got quiet. You're a conspiracy theorist. And this is something, again, a whistleblower friend of mine brought this up. They said, Graham, all of us should start calling the corporate media conspiracy theorists.
Yes.
That's what we've been doing.
Yes.
Like
We'll go
pretty
reach a
much.
battle that for
They're
sure.
all
Oh, yeah.
conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
So, and again, and I hate the neoliberal knee jerk of, so I say that clip is bullshit. Oh, I'm a Trump supporter. No,
Yeah.
all of those things they listed. Yes, it's all of crazy Trump's. He said all this crazy bullshit, and his supporters don't want to hear it. But you know what? Diehard Clinton supporters, they
wanna
don't
hear
want to
it.
hear
Hear
it.
it either, yeah.
They don't want to hear it. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. They're like, oh, it's a bunch of crazy conspiracies. Are there crazy conspiracies about the Clintons? Yes, but follow the money.
Yeah.
20 countries donated to the Clinton Foundation in 2007, 2008. When she became Secretary of State, all 20 countries got defense contracts.
Yep.
That stuff and this Epstein stuff is all tied. The thing about why I'm not letting the Epstein thing go, this isn't just some like Hollywood, somebody had an affair and that they're because this is all tied in. It's tied into Saudi Arabia. It's tied into Israel. It's tied into the intelligence community. It's tied into Hollywood. It's tied into all of this. Yep. And when a network, I always ask this question. The CEO of CNN, the CEO of MSM, are they in his book? Roger Ailes probably was, but he's dead now. And Roger Ailes, let's not forget, was defended by Rachel Maddow.
Yeah. She praised him.
Praised him.
She praised him.
Praised
What a nice
him.
guy he was.
And she literally
Yeah.
said, quote, I know there were some issues over there, Fox. Issues?
A little rape over here, a little there. It never hurt nobody.
You're the big feminist, liberal hero lesbian who fucking is calling what he did issues? So the whole system, this just shows how much bullshit it is. And this is the thing, is the distraction. They're going to keep talking about Epstein, but watch. They're either going to try to talk about other things, or if they keep talking about him, you're going to see this slow shift of how they're talking about
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
You know, Lone Wolf or some sort of Jack Ruby type snuck into the, you know, like they're going to do all this little distraction.
And
Go ahead, babe.
no, sorry. Just before we move on, Pastor, I know you have something to say. This is going to determine where the election goes, I believe, because if the liberal media continues pushing, oh, Trump did this, Trump is this, continues making him the villain, what it's going to do, it's going to make his base feel like he's the victim, and it's going to drive more people towards the Republican Party and towards defending him. So in essence, the liberal media is helping to reelect Trump right now, especially with the way they're acting with this whole entire case.
the Mueller report.
Exactly.
I was going to say, that's what Russiagate
supporters,
did.
the Trump supporters just went, we told you.
We told you so.
Yeah.
We told you so.
Because they put Mr. Magoo up there as their freaking hero trying to tell shit, and he couldn't even say a sentence. That's beyond my purview, Graham. And, you know, that...
Mueller, who helped lie about the war in Iraq. I
Yeah,
mean, we
that
already
guy.
know
Always.
he's a stooge.
Guess who was also the head director of the FBI when Acosta cut the sweet deal, but was never questioned? Robert Mueller. BT Dubs.
Weird.
BT Dubs, which I think that you might have pointed out the one good thing, you might not know it, but the one good thing that Russiagate came of. The fact that they wasted all their energy and completely missed on the Mueller report means they wouldn't waste time trying to, go after special commitment on Trump, on Epstein. So maybe they just said, okay, we wasted our one bullet on Russiagate. We can't do Epstein now. And here's the thing, too, why it's important. And I know Fiorella heard me say this one night because I was echoing somebody from the Duran. This is the fight for humanity, in a way. This is the up top. These are the people pulling all the strings. We know from doing the research that Epstein didn't earn his money. Somebody from the monetary system hit a friggin' button and enriched this guy so he can go out and do things for them. And as we get deeper down these rabbit holes, because we're talking about the things on the surface right now, right? Eventually, we got to get talking about what some of these people are talking about programming, what we talked about, grooming, mind control stuff, CIA stuff. He was also a scientific philanthropist. So we haven't even got to that yet, and I don't even want to get there because we're still unpacking some stuff on the surface.
Well, this is also, too, the ruling class. What this shows is that this is evil.
Yeah.
This is pure calculated evil. This isn't like, look, a pedophile that gets a van and goes and that's awful, that's horrible, but that pedophile's like, I can't control myself. That's not, they sat in one of fucking his mansions or on his private jet and hatched this, how can we scoop up children, girls and boys, how and who can we do this? Oh, let's map this out with Ghislaine Maxwell. How do we do, like they sat this and mapped this out. This is pure evil. This is who the ruling class is. Prince Andrew, this is the royal family. The royal family, the Rothschilds.
Oh, yeah.
There was a Rothschilds in the late 1800s that said, let's map out basically white supremacy. That's who the Rothschilds are. This is who is involved in this. This is the Bilderberg group or whatever. I mean, these are like the actual people calling the shots. It showed that there's not two parties in this country. I say this time and time again. There's two classes. There's the ruling class and all of us. And this is who the ruling class is. Evil, sadistic, pedophile, greedy, horrible people. These are psychopaths. You can't shame these people. These are sociopaths. And we have to uncover them, and we have to put them away.
And let me tell you something else. It wasn't just the children who were groomed. Some of these politicians, some of these actors, I believe they were found and groomed at a young age. There's a reason why Jeffrey Epstein just showed up in the school, Dalton School, a college dropout. It was for recruiting to groom. So I think they get a lot of these people. You talk about the Rhodes Scholars, right? Arthur Rhodes, if we look into who he is, you know what I'm saying? People like Rachel Maddow, Buttigieg, all these people, I think they were found and they were also groomed. Hey, we're going to make you a movie star. But then they get them involved in pedophilia and then they got them. I don't believe that it was about bribery. It was more about blackmail and grooming.
That's a great point.
Age.
There's a CIA operative, and I forget his name, who's come forward and has been a whistleblower, and he has flat out said that, and I'm going to try to get him on my show. He said, look, we were told, and this is, CIA, if you can get you would scoop up a kid to get them to have sex with someone, to flip them, to make them become an asset. You have a lot of information. I get you to have sex with a kid. I videotape it. Now I got you.
That's it.
Now I got you. So maybe Epstein was used by the intelligence community, to say, hey, go get info on all these people. I mean, this is what the world really is.
Wesley Clark Jr., he said it to you, right? The tentacles of this go way, way down. What about